All right, it's about 10:45 a.m. West Coast time on Wednesday, August 27th. This is one of the videos that I was going to make this morning before that school shooting happened in Minneapolis. U.S. Attorney Judge Box of Wine, Janine Piro, presented a case to a grand jury about the guy who threw a sandwich at ICE agents. I think his name is Shawn Dunn, now formerly an employee of the Department of Justice. He's an attorney. He threw a sandwich at militarized cops on the streets of Washington, D.C. last week. After he was identified, he offered to turn himself in. The DOJ said, no, we don't want you to turn yourself in. And they sent 20 officers in full tactical gear to smash their way into his home and arrest him in violent fashion so that they could get footage of that to put on social media so that white middle-aged men who support Donald Trump could sit at home alone because their wives have left them, so that those white straight men who still support Donald Trump could masturbate to that footage, which I'm sure millions of them did. So Shawn Dunn, after he threw a Subway sandwich at an officer, he was charged with a felony assault of a law enforcement officer. Even the judge who arraigned him was like, that charge seems excessive, and released Mr. Dunn on his own recognizance. Didn't even make him post bail. Judge Box of Wine, Janine Piro, has presented that case to the grand jury. When you're a prosecutor and you present a case to a grand jury, you are doing that unopposed. There was a judge who many years ago said, a skillful prosecutor can get an indictment against a ham sandwich. Here we have a case that involves a ham sandwich, and we have Judge Box of Wine, Janine Piro. She presented her case against Mr. Dunn to a grand jury in Washington, D.C., and that grand jury refused to indict Mr. Dunn on a felony assault charge. It is a remarkable failure by the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C., and it was the second time in recent days that same office was unable to persuade grand jurors to bring an indictment in a felony assault case against a federal agent. The second failure, Janine Piro's office presented facts against a woman, a D.C. resident named Sydney Lorie Reid. She was accused of assaulting an FBI agent, I believe. Janine Piro's office presented the facts in that case to 3 separate grand juries. Every single one of them refused to return an indictment. A couple of days ago, I did a lengthy video about jury nullification. That's when a trial actually happens, and the jurors, where they're deliberating, they're like, yeah, this guy's guilty, but I'm not voting for a conviction, because of their own moral compass, their own sense of right and wrong. I didn't really expect that we were going to be seeing that kind of a circumstance this early in these cases coming from grand juries. And again, please, I want you to understand, when a prosecutor presents a case to a grand jury, the defendant is not there. The defendant's attorney is not there. There is no judge present. The prosecutors get to present whatever they want to the grand jury. And it just has to be a minimal amount of information just to sustain the indictment. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt when you're in the grand jury stage. It's like this. It's like more likely than not kind of thing. It's just like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, that probably happened. They're going to have to prove it at trial, so sure. Grand juries in Washington, D.C. are not giving prosecutors indictments on people who've been arrested in these protests. That is a stunning development. And frankly, I fully expect Donald Trump to announce that he's going to begin investigations and prosecutions against the members of these grand juries. So, because if these crimes take place in Washington, D.C., they have to indict them in Washington, D.C., which voted, I don't know, 90% for Kamala Harris. It's a city that's 45% African American. Good luck, Judge Box of Wine. Good luck. This is going to start happening to you on a daily basis, and I am here for it. These grand juries are stepping up.